Are you all right?
Oh, dear, I was so worried about you. Are you
What?
hurt?
Oh, no. Look, no.
What is it?
I don't, what is it? You just rammed your ice cream cone in my ear.
Sorry. I forgot I was holding it.
It's all right. Don't worry about it.
What happened in there?
Well, I was right. Those guys went in to rob the liquor store.
Oh, Jerry.
Yeah, when I walked in, one of them had a gun to the clerk's head. The other one, when he saw me, turned and fired. Fortunately, I got in the first shot.
You didn't kill him, did you?
No, I just got him in the arm. It made a shot go astray.
Oh, good.
Hey, Grove, you better get down to the station and fill out a report right away, or else the sergeant's going to be down your throat.
Yeah, all right. Thanks. You want to go down to the station with me?
Sure, I like that.
Okay, come on.
Rhonda, what are you doing here?
Oh, hi, Ed.
Don't hi Ed me. I asked you a question.
Ed, come on.
I wasn't talking to you.
Well, I had this idea of getting an ice cream cone, so Jerry and I came down here, and then Jerry saw the robbers in the liquor store, so he went over there and he saved the owner's life.
I thought I told you before, Grove. I don't like you getting my sister into these dangerous situations. Now, what do I have to do to get through to you?
I didn't plan it this way, Ed. Now, how was I supposed to know?
Jerry didn't put me in any danger. All he did was ask me to call the station and get another car over here.
I don't care what he asked you to do. You were in danger, and that's all that matters. Come on, I'm taking you back to the house.
No, you're not. I'm going down to the station with Jerry. He has some forms to fill out.
Hell you are, young lady. The only place you're going is home.
Ed, let go of me.
Go on, go ahead home.
I don't want to.
Rhonda.
Go ahead. Go on home. I'll call you later.
Marianne.
Hi.
Haven't heard from Jamie yet.
Not a thing. I'm sorry, honey. So am I. I guess I've just been stood up.
I'm trying to tell you, Miss Davis, that there is no need for you to be concerned about your son, and arrangements have been made.
I don't care about the arrangements that have been made. I want to know where my son is and why he didn't tell me he was leaving.
I'm afraid there wasn't time, but I assure you he is perfectly all right.
Well, that's not good enough. I want to know what's going on around here.
Miss Davis, if you would please just come with me, I will be sure
I'm
that you
not
get to the
leaving
airport
here until you tell me what I want to know.
Please, Miss Davis.
Curtis, have you...
Steve.
Miss Davis.
Wait a minute, I know that man. That's Steve Frame.
Who? Who's Steve Frame?
The man in the elevator.
No. I'm sorry. No, that was Mr. Black.
No, it wasn't. That was Steve Frame. Go of me. That was my son's father. What have you done with my son?
Miss Davis, as I keep telling you, your son was sent out of town on a Black Hawk construction crew.
I don't believe you.
I'm telling you the truth. Now, if you would just go down to your apartment, the limousine to take you to the airport
I
will be
don't
here
care
in
about
5...
the limousine. Where's my son? Steve Frame is alive. He can't be.
Another world.
Is Rhonda okay?
Yeah, Rhonda's okay. No thanks to you, Grove.
Look, we just went to get an ice cream cone. You can't get a lot more innocent than that. Now, how was I supposed to know that I was going to come across a burglary in progress?
Well, I just don't like it.
Just what is it that you don't like?
Number one, you're too old for her. Number two, I don't want you getting my sister into that kind of danger ever. I don't care how innocent it is. I just don't like her dating you. It's that simple.
Don't you think you should let Rhonda decide who she wants to see?
I don't think my sister's got enough sense to know what she wants.
Look, Ed, I care about your sister. Now, do you think that I would deliberately take her somewhere where she might get hurt?
You did tonight, didn't you?
Not deliberately.
That doesn't mean anything. The fact is, she could have been shot. Because of you, she was in danger. I want you to stay away from my sister. You got that?
It's like I said before. I think that's Rhonda's decision.
That's where you're wrong. See, if I see my sister making a mistake, I'm going to tell her about it. If she won't listen, I'm going to stop her from making that mistake. And from where I sit, you're a mistake. Have I made myself clear?
Yeah.
Did you try to call him?
No.
Well, I'm sure he just got tied up at work.
Mom, there are phones where he works. If he was just going to be late or something, I'm sure he would have called.
Well, I know Jamie must have had a good reason. You'll hear from him, I'm sure of it.
No, I don't think so.
Well, would you like me to stay with you?
You and Alice are going to...
Oh, Alice and I were just going to get together and look at some fabrics, darling. She's really into redecorating the Corey house, but if you'd prefer...
No, really. No, you go ahead. I'm fine, really.
You sure?
Sure, I'm sure. Anyway, maybe you're right. Maybe he's just late or he got tied up or something.
Really at loose ends, aren't you, honey?
Yeah,
and that's why you want to see Jamie.
I guess maybe I thought that he... Oh, I guess it doesn't really matter what I thought. Just dreaming again.
Hey, why don't I stay home?
No. You please, you go ahead. Go ahead. Anyway, maybe a little time alone will be good for me.
Maybe. Oh, honey, I love you.
I love you.
I put Matthew down for a nap. What's the matter? You won't believe this. You won't believe this. I mean, I went up to get Jamie, right? And, practically no one was there.
Except Jamie.
I mean, I'm all packed and ready to go to San Francisco. All I needed was for Jamie to take me to the airport. I mean, when Jamie says he's going to do something, he does it. He's never let me down yet. But tonight, he doesn't show up.
Well, did something happen to him?
How should I know?
Wasn't there anybody there who could tell you?
Yes, some creep told me that it was all right. Jamie was fine. He went out of town on a work detail or something.
Well, but Jamie would have called you.
Yes, that's what I thought. So I told the man I wasn't leaving until he told me where he was. He said everything was fine, that Jamie had arranged for a limousine.
A limousine?
To take me to the airport.
Well, that's what this guy told you?
Yes, right. And, it wasn't Jamie's style, so I told the man that, and I said I wouldn't go.
Well, what happened?
Well, so we stood there arguing, back and forth, this guy, and then all of a sudden the elevator doors open. You're not going to believe this.
Believe what?
Well, there was this man in the elevator. Steve Frame.
Thought you might want dinner.
What are you doing here?
Aren't you hungry?
I thought Ed took you home.
He did, but he was still on duty. After he left, I came down here. But not until stopping off at the local gourmet hamburger stand.
Shouldn't have.
I wanted to.
Rhonda, I'm really sorry about what happened tonight. It could have been really dangerous. You could have been hurt.
Hey, don't worry about it. It can be dangerous crossing the street. Besides, being with you is worth the risk.
I don't know, Rhonda.
Ed got to you, didn't he?
We talked.
You mean Ed handed down a bunch of ultimatums?
I understand why he's worried.
Jerry, don't listen to him. He's really crazy when it comes to me.
But he made sense. Like you could have been hurt.
But I wasn't. That's what counts, isn't it?
Not this time. What about next time?
Let's not talk about next time now. Not while we're eating. Hey, that was supposed to be funny.
Nothing about this is funny, Rhonda.
Boy, that brother of mine must have really let you have it.
Maybe I deserved it.
No, Jerry. Ed has no right to dictate who my friends are, where we go.
But there is something else that bothers me. That's because he might be right.
Let me guess. He thinks you're too old for me.
Maybe I am.
Jerry, Ed thinks I should be dating someone about 6. Believe me, you're not too old for me.
But...
Shouldn't I know?
But it bothers me.
Don't let it. Now look what I've done.
What are you talking about?
I forgot the shakes. I better go get us some coffee.
Okay, it's down the hall. It's just across from the finger.
Jerry, I know where the coffee machines are. I've been hanging around here since I was a kid.
Who let her up there?
She got up there on her own.
What do you mean on her own? Where's the security in this building?
Edward, we have the best security money can buy.
Obviously, it's not good enough. What was she doing there anyway?
Well, apparently your son had arranged to take his mother to the airport. When he didn't show up, as she expected,
Wait. Didn't you take care of that? You knew that she was going out of town. That's all we need, Curtis. Groups of people wandering around, wondering where James is and why he's gone.
Everyone was notified that he asked us to notify. But apparently, when the limousine did not show up on time, Miss Davis became impatient.
Everyone was notified?
I assumed that no one actually called Miss Davis, thinking that the limousine itself, when it arrived, would be sufficient notification.
Oh, you don't know this woman the way I do. So Rachel became anxious as to James' whereabouts. Is that correct?
Yes. And, of course, since she lives in the building, it was very easy for her to gain access to the roof.
Curtis, I waited for years so I could come back here and try to build my life over again. So that I could reassemble my family, Alice and James. So that we could live together.
I know, Edward.
I have timed the event precisely. So that I could tell Alice first. Even to the point of sending my own son out of town. And Rachel Davis, of all people, practically walks into my living room.
It was my mistake, Edward. I should have handled it personally.
Yes, it was your mistake. And you will damn well rectify it.
Steve Frame?
Yeah, Steve Frame.
Honey, I think you better sit down.
Now, don't do that to me. don't look at me like that. I know it was Steve Frame. I mean, he looked a lot different. He looked a lot older, but it's been 10 years. It's a long time. I mean, I probably look different too, but it's Steve Frame, all right.
Well, what did he say to you?
It's his voice that I recognized first, you know. I mean, I recognized it right away. He didn't say anything to me. He was talking to this other guy, but I recognized his voice right away. I mean, I would not forget that voice.
Uh-huh.
So I said, Steve, and he just looked at me. And then I looked away for a minute. When I turned back, the elevator doors had closed and he was gone.
Honey, look, you've been under a terrible strain.
Don't
you know?
say that. It's not that way at all. I mean, now I know what Jamie felt like when everybody thought he was going crazy. Look, I know it is Steve Frame.
Rachel, would you stop it? You're imagining things.
I'm not imagining anything, Mom. It was Steve Frame. I'd know him anywhere.
Grove, you got a minute?
Yeah, sure.
Look, I'm sorry about earlier.
Sorry, why?
I came down on you a little hard.
Hey, don't worry about it.
Now,
The French
Grove.
fry?
I know, when it comes to my sister, I'm a little wacko. Always have been, probably always will be.
Yeah, well, I can understand that.
Okay?
Yeah. There's something about Rhonda that just makes you want to protect her.
I know. She's so trusting. I'm always afraid she's going to get hurt.
Yeah. Look, Ed, just know that I would never do anything to hurt her.
Maybe not. I mean, maybe you wouldn't mean to, but she's real delicate in a way. You're supposed to be at home.
Well, I'm not.
I can see that. You want to tell me why you're not?
I thought Jerry might want some hamburgers, so I came down here.
Well, Grove here's a big boy. He can feed himself.
Ed, quit it.
How'd you get here anyway?
I walked.
I don't know what you can be thinking of. It's dark outside. You still go walking around in the dark.
Come on, Ed. I'm 19 years old.
That's the point. You're 19 years old. You just don't go wandering around the streets alone.
He's right, Rhonda. I didn't know you walked over here.
You know, you guys are something else. Would you quit treating me like I'm a kid?
But that's what you are. 19 is a kid, Rhonda.
Only in your eyes, Ed. According to the law and the rest of the people, I'm perfectly capable of taking care of myself.
Well, I know you, which means I know better than the law. Now put that coffee down.
Why?
Because I'm taking you home again.
Well, you can't make me stay at home.
If I have to, I'm going to lock you up in the house.
Forget it, Ed. No one's going to lock me up.
Rhonda, we're going home.
Go on, Rhonda. Look, I'm going to be tied up here for a while. It's getting late.
Oh, I can wait. I'd like to.
Rhonda, come on.
Maybe you better go.
Ed, this isn't fair.
Who said anything about being fair?
Okay, Ed. You can bully me around this time. But if I want to go out with Jerry, I will. There's no way you're going to stop me.
We'll see about that.
Due to unforeseen circumstances, I'm going to have to accelerate my plans.
Accelerate?
Yes, I no longer have the luxury of time, and I'm counting on you to help me out.
What can I do, sir?
As I told you before, I'd like to know more about the Drug Rehabilitation Center at Bay City General.
The one that Mac Corey is setting up because of his son's drug abuses in the past?
His son, yes. I understand Mac Corey and Alice Frame are heading up the fundraising committee?
Yes, I'd heard about that as well. And I hadn't forgotten about your request. I was planning to look into that very soon.
I want you to look into it right away.
Certainly, sir. I'll get on it right up tomorrow morning.
No, tonight.
Tonight?
Yes, tonight.
Well, I don't know, sir. It's awfully late. I'm not sure I can find anyone to fill me in at this
You're a very enterprising young man, Denver. I am sure you can find someone to fill you in if you really try.
Well, as a matter of fact, there might be someone.
I knew I could depend on you.
You can, sir.
I'd like to have that information in the morning.
Certainly, sir.
Thank you. I'll be waiting to hear from you.
Rachel, you have a plane to catch.
I can't go now.
Mitch is going to be waiting for you.
I mean, I can't pretend this didn't happen.
Mitch thinks that you and Matthew are going to be on that plane.
This has not been a very good day for me. I mean, I've lost custody of Amanda. I don't know where my son is or if he's all right. And a man who's been dead 10 years all of a sudden turns up alive upstairs.
Honey, I know. But listen, you need Mitch now. If anybody can help you get through losing Amanda, it's him.
I don't think I can stand not seeing Amanda.
You will see her, honey. And when you're separated from her, Mitch will help you. And you have Matthew. Now, come on, will you please get ready? I'll go to the airport with you.
I can't go.
Mitch is waiting for you.
He'll just have to wait a little longer.
Rachel.
I'm not saying I'm not going to go out eventually. I just can't go out now.
Well, do you still think he's going to be waiting for you when you do decide to go?
I can't go now. I mean, I don't know where Jamie is or what's happened to him. And Steve Frame is alive, and I don't know what's going on. I can't go until I know what's going on.
Steve Frame is dead.
He isn't dead.
Why didn't he say something to you?
Well, I don't know why. He was startled, I guess.
Because it wasn't him.
It was him.
You're not going to San Francisco, are you?
No, I'm not going.
Okay. Then I think that you better call Mitch and explain to him why all of a sudden, after all these weeks, you've changed your mind and you decided not to join him.
Who is it?
It's Mary Ann, Rachel.
Hi, Marian.
I hope you don't mind my dropping by like this.
No, of course not. Come on in.
Thank you. Well, it looks like you're really ready to go.
Yeah, well, I got delayed a bit.
Oh, I hope it's nothing serious.
Yeah, so do I. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Can I do something for you?
This is a little bit embarrassing.
It's all right. You don't have to be embarrassed.
It's about Jamie.
What about him?
We had a date tonight, and he didn't show up. He didn't call. I suppose he just forgot, but I got a little worried. He wasn't at home. I thought he might be here.
Sit down.
Thank you.
No, he was sent out of town on work. At least that's what they told me.
Oh, well, I suppose he just forgot about our date.
Yeah, well, he was supposed to take me to the airport, and he didn't call me, so...
Well, I wonder what's going on.
So do I. Oh, wait a minute. You said you had a date?
Yeah.
Oh. Are you and Rick separated?
Yes, we are.
Oh, well, I'm very sorry.
It's okay.
Well, I guess sometimes these things work out for the best. This is probably none of my business, but I hope you don't rush into anything, Marianne. I hope you think about what you're doing.
Don't worry. I've learned a lot about relationships lately. I plan to be more careful in the future.
Yeah, because, you see, when you rush into things, it's apt to be a mistake. A mistake, it's very difficult to remedy.
Hello?
Sally?
Yeah?
This is Denny Hobson.
Oh, hi, Denny.
Listen, I know it's kind of late to be calling you.
No, that's okay.
Well, I'm finishing up here at the office and thought you might want to have dinner with me tonight. That is, if you don't have any other plans.
No, I don't.
Well, so how about it? You want to go out with me? I've kind of had it with eating out alone, you know.
Well, sure. It sounds like fun.
Well, then I'll pick you up at your place in a little while, if that's okay.
Well, of course it's okay. Why wouldn't it be?
I don't know. I just didn't want to get you in any trouble. Walking on your family's dinner or something.
Oh, no problem.
You sure?
Yes, I'm sure. As a matter of fact, my mother's here, but she and Grandpa have already eaten, and besides, she's been wanting to meet you anyway.
Good. I'd like to meet her, too. So why don't I come right over?
Fine.
I'm on my way. Bye-bye.
Mom, this is Denny Hobson, Lee's brother. And Denny, I would like you to meet my mother, Alice Frame.
Hey, Danny. It's nice to meet you finally.
The pleasure is mine. I have you at an advantage, Mrs. Frame.
You do?
I know you better than you know me.
How's that?
Well, I keep reading about you in the paper. First the engagement party and then the drug rehabilitation center.
Yes, well, this is all new to me, believe me. Would you sit down?
Certainly. Excuse me.
I've never had this kind of publicity before.
Well, you're marrying a very influential man.
Yes, and a very wonderful man.
And a generous one, too. Judging from his involvement in the drug rehab center. What is that all about, anyway?
Jamie, Mac's son, had a severe drug problem a short while ago.
Yes, I heard about that.
Well, naturally, that was very traumatic for the entire family. That's when Mac became interested in drug rehabilitation. A little research proved that there are ways to help the patient and those close to him or her through the period of detoxification and then readjustment.
I'm beginning to get the picture.
Bay City General is lacking in adequate funds and space to handle the problem, so Mac is determined to remedy the situation, to get a drug rehab center operational. And I'm happy to say that I'll be helping him in any way I can.
Well, sounds like a very worthwhile project.
It is.
Since you're on the fundraising committee, it might interest you to know that my company, the Blackhawk Project, has expressed an interest in the center, too. In fact, they've asked me to check it out.
Really?
Yes. As a matter of fact, it's something they might want to get involved in.
Well, we are having our first fundraising meeting in 3 days, at which time we'll be making a very complete presentation. Mm-hmm. Perhaps you or a representative of your firm would like to attend.
Perhaps.
Well, I hope so. I'm sure that Mac would enjoy discussing this with you and your company.
Yeah, well, I thought we were going out to dinner.
Of course we are. It's just this project is so fascinating.
Yeah, but still...
I'm afraid I've taken up a lot of your time, Mrs. Frame.
No, you haven't taken up my time. I could talk about this subject for hours.
Let me help you with that.
Thank you.
Here we go. Right there.
Get my arm in there. Great, let's go, okay?
Okay.
Okay, good night, Mom.
Maybe we can talk about this further at another time, Mrs. Frame.
Good, I like
Good night,
that, Danny.
Mom.
Okay,
Good night. Bye-bye.
Who is it?
Miss Davis, it's Curtis Eldon.
Who?
We met earlier upstairs on the roof.
What do you want?
If you have a moment, I'd like to talk to you.
What do you want?
My employer, Mr. Edward Black, has asked me to come...
Stephen Frame.
Has asked me to come down to apologize for the mix-up regarding the information which you did not get regarding your son James having been sent out of state on a construction crew.
Where out of state?
I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to disclose that at this moment, but I wanted to assure you that your son will be calling you as soon as he is settled, and in fact he shouldn't be out of town for very long.
You mean out of state?
Out of state, yes.
And your employer, Mr. Edward Black, wanted you to tell me this?
Mm-hmm.
Well, why didn't he tell me himself? It's his son we're talking about, or has he forgotten about that?
Well, Mr. Black also apologizes for the fact that because of this mix-up, you missed your flight to California.
Oh, does he?
So he has arranged for a limousine to be downstairs in an hour, and he has booked and paid for a first-class ticket for you to San Francisco.
How considerate of him.
I assure you, you will be hearing from your son very soon, and in fact, he should be back shortly.
Fine. Is that it?
Yes, I believe so.
Well, you tell your employer, Mr. Black, for me, that I don't know what it is that's going on around here, but I know who he is. And I'm going to find out what's going on. He can hide all he wants to, but I'll see him. I'll see him real soon.
Yeah, hello. Yeah, can I please speak to Rhonda? Oh, I see. No, that's all right. Don't wake her up. No, will you just tell her that I called? Yeah, thank you. Goodbye.
Oh, Danny, that place was fabulous. You know what?
What?
I feel funny.
You do?
Yeah. I think that third champagne cocktail was not necessary. But I was having fun.
Yeah, the Connection's a pretty good place.
Pretty good. It's fabulous. And that singer, Melissa, she's wonderful. What's her last name?
Needham.
Needham, that's it. Do you know her personally?
I've met her a couple of times.
Yeah, is she nice?
Yeah.
Well, do you think that if we ever go there again, you could introduce me to her?
Sure.
Oh, that'd be great. So, are there a lot of places like that in Bay City?
I don't know. I don't know. Can you know anything more about that drug rehab center?
Oh, come on. Didn't you hear enough about that from my mother?
Oh, yeah, but it's interesting.
Yeah, well, not to me. Okay?
Ah. Okay, let's see. No?
Yeah, that one. That's right in there.
All right, I can find that. Okay.
Anyway, that's work stuff. Besides, I mean, we're supposed to be having fun.
Why can't work be fun?
Well, work is fun, but it's a different kind of fun. It's work fun. You know the difference, don't you?
Not really.
Oh.
By the way, I've been meaning to ask you, how are things going for you over at Corey?
Oh, they're okay.
Okay, that sounds really enthusiastic. I thought you liked your job.
I do. I'm, just a little worried about Cecile.
What's wrong with Cecile?
Nothing.
Nothing. That didn't sound like nothing.
I shouldn't have said anything.
Oh, come on, Sal. You can trust me. I promise you can. It might make you feel better to talk about it.
I feel bad for her.
Why?
Cecile... Oh, she's pregnant.
Pregnant?
Yeah.
And is Jamie the father?
No, at least I don't think so.
Well, what does Cecile think?
Well, she says that Sandy's the father.
Well, I don't understand that. What's the problem?
Well, she really loves him, but she just doesn't want to tell him about the baby.
Why not?
Because she's afraid she'll be pressuring him into a relationship.
But if he's the father...
I know. Denny, I told her the same thing. They love each other. I'm sure that Sandy would be more than happy to know about it.
Yeah, maybe. Unless...
You know, I hate to see her go through this all alone.
It must be rough on her.
It is, believe me.
Well, what about Jamie? Does he know?
Yeah, well, that's my problem. You see, I was so upset for Cecile that I went and told Jamie. Why don't I just keep my mouth shut?
Well, what did Jamie have to say?
He said he didn't care.
That's interesting.
Interesting. It's mean. You know, I don't know what's wrong with him, but lately he's been, I don't know, cold. I don't know what his problem is, but he sure has changed.
You think he might be still on something?
You mean like drugs?
Yeah.
No. He's not on anything. You know, every time we're together, we end up talking about Jamie Frame, my mother, and Matt Corey.
Yeah, I guess we do.
Yeah, we do. And sometimes I even get the feeling that you're pumping me for information or something.
Oh, that's silly. Why would I be pumping you for information?
Well, that's just what I was asking myself.
You have an overactive imagination.
You sure that's all there is to it?
Well, there is something else.
What is it?
You don't know?
No, why don't you tell me?
Well, I like you a lot, Sally. And I guess I'm just interested in people you care about.
Really?
Of course. What other reason would there be?
Here it is. Well, Steve. Seems so long ago. I used Jamie to get you to marry me, but I really thought you loved me then. When I got you to marry me, I think I was the happiest woman in the world. I had everything I ever wanted. The man I loved and our son. But it didn't last. At least the marriage didn't. But my obsession for you did. It wasn't until Matt came into my life that I learned what love was. And an obsession? No one has ever been that for me except you. Yes, it's you, all right. You look different, but I guess we all do. 10 years. And you're alive. What I don't know is why you're here after all this time. Why now, after all these years, have you come back to Bay City? And what for? I promise you, Stephen Frame, I'm not leaving this town until I find out why you're here. I'm not leaving.
Well, Miss Davis promised that she would see you soon, but she did accept the ticket.
I see. You think she'll leave tonight?
I hope so. But I'm not sanguine.
She must leave. She must leave, if only for a little while.
Now, Edward, listen to me. No matter what Miss Davis does, you have to do what you came here for, and now.
Curtis, my friend. Perhaps my only friend. I've waited too long. To rush this, I've waited too long to destroy it with impatience. I have my son out of town for a while. And I hope Rachel will be leaving within the hour. If she does, I will have earned the luxury of time. A little more time. The time to do this right. To go to Alice. To tell her I'm back. And to tell her she must come back into my life again.
Mitch, darling, I couldn't make the flight. It was just impossible. I couldn't get everything packed in time. No, nothing's wrong, I promise. I'll be out there. It's just going to take longer than I thought. Of course it was Amanda. I mean, I can't get used to losing custody of her. Well, it is upsetting and very confusing. I know the gallery and this place are only paid up through the end of the week. I know. I'll be out there soon, I promise. Yes, I know. No, I'm all right. Yeah, she's been here a lot. Okay, darling. All right, thank you for understanding. Okay. Yes, I love you too. I'll see you soon. All right. Yeah, I'm sorry. All right, bye-bye.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Another World.
Good morning, Curtis.
No, not good, no.
Not good. What's not good?
I'm afraid I have a bit of very unpleasant information for you.
Curtis, this is not the way I like to start my day.
I'm sure it isn't, but it can't be helped.
All right, give me the bad news.
Well, as you know, I had made arrangements for Ms. Davis to be picked up by one of our limousines and taken to the airport.
Yes, I know.
And escorted directly onto the
Yes,
plane.
I know about the arrangements to get her out of town. I know about the arrangements with James. I know about all of that. Now get to the point. What happened?
Well, I'm sorry to say that Miss Davis did not, as we had hoped she would, leave Bay City last night.
Dr. Stein, please call your service. Dr. Stein, please call your service.
Oops.
Hi, Rick.
Hi, Rick. Sorry, you guys. Just wasn't a do not disturb sign on the door.
You do have a way of breaking things up, don't you?
My humble apologies.
I accept, I guess.
Rick, why are you late? Stop it. Today, did you oversleep or something?
No, I didn't oversleep. My car wouldn't start.
Oh, that doesn't surprise me at all. That thing has been working for years. Maybe it died.
No, it didn't die. It's just resting, that's all.
Why don't you trade that thing in and get another car?
I like the one I have. It's fine for me.
There's no way in talking you into getting another car, is there?
No.
Do you want me to take a look at it and fix your little car?
Sure. Would you?
Yes.
That'd be great.
Yes, I would, because if you drove that thing into a garage, they'd probably laugh you right out of the place.
Oh, he's funny. He's very funny. Punch him for me.
I gotta go.
All right.
See you. Bye, Ricky.
I gotta go.
Bye.
Hello?
Blade. It's Rick.
Oh, hi, Rick. You're back.
Yeah, we got in last night.
How's your father?
He's just fine, just fine. I wanted to let you know.
I'm glad to hear that.
Oh, I appreciate it.
Am I going to be able to see you?
Sure you're going to see me. What'd you think?
Oh, I was hoping that you would say that. How about if I stop by the hospital later? Would that be all right?
That would be great. I'm looking forward to seeing you. I missed you.
Yeah, I missed you, too.
You did?
I'll see you later, okay?
Okay. Bye.
Appreciate your coming over to take care of Matthew for me today.
I didn't have anything better to do.
Listen, is it going to be a problem?
No, it's no trouble at all. Clarice is in Disney World with Larry and Corey, so she can't come to work. I'm staying here with Matthew, so I can't come to work. So guess who has to open up the shop today? Rhonda.
So?
So? She makes me nervous.
I thought you liked her.
I do like her, but she makes me nervous.
I'm sure she can do just fine opening up the shop.
I hope so.
So don't worry about it.
Okay, I won't worry about it. And, just so I won't worry about you and Mitch, did you call him last night?
I told you I would, didn't I?
Well?
Well, I called him and he understands.
He understands what?
My reasons for not being out there.
What did you tell him?
I didn't tell him everything, but I told him I'd be delayed.
What didn't you tell him?
Mom.
Come on, Rachel.
I didn't tell him that I'd seen Stephen Frame, all right?
Another world.
So she didn't leave Bay City?
Nope.
What happened?
Well, the limousine got to the building, as directed. The driver waited for her. When she did not come down, he went upstairs to see if she was ready. She then informed him that she had changed her plans and had no intention of going. Oh, Rachel.
Curtis, this is one person that could prove to be considerably troublesome for me. She always has been. And probably will continue to be.
So, what would you like me to do about it, Edward?
Our primary concern is James. Do we have any way we can allay those fears?
Yes. As soon as I found out last night that she had not left town, I told one of the crew bosses to tell Frame to write his mother a letter explaining what he was doing. It will be flown to Bay City and messengered to her today, directly from the airport.
Good. That'll keep her quiet for a while.
I hope so.
But keep her away from me. Don't let her find out anything for sure. Can you do that?
I'll do my best. You have an appointment with Denver this morning. Do you want to keep it?
Sure, why not? Maybe he'll bring me some good news.
And how's everything going with your father?
He's doing very well, actually. All the doctors are amazed with his progress, and I think he's out of the woods.
Well, that's good news, because I know how worried you were.
No, all in all, it was a good trip. We were able to work out a lot of things that had been bothering us for years.
What kind of things?
Oh, you know, the typical father-son lack of communication. You see, I've always I've been under the impression that my father thought I was a failure.
You did?
Yeah. But that wasn't true. It's just that my father and I have trouble communicating our feelings and emotions for each other.
I see.
I guess that's not a great recommendation for a psychiatrist, is it?
Well, at least you can see and recognize the problem, Rick.
Yeah. Well, that I can't do. No. And I think Dad does, too.
Well, that's a good start.
Yeah, it's strange. I think I felt closer to him this time than I ever have. I just hope that there's time for us to make up for all the time that we've lost.
Well, if you're as determined about it as you sound, I think you will.
Well, I am determined.
Good.
Look, I didn't mean this to turn into a session. I just came in to find out what my assignment was for this week.
Well, I'm sorry to destroy this good mood that you're in, but there is work here.
Well, what's the assignment?
Well, these are old cases. I'd like you to complete your notes from these tapes.
And you would like me to...
Yes, to transcribe and complete each case.
Right.
You didn't tell Mitch about seeing Steve Frame?
That's right.
Why not?
Because he would have reacted the same way you did.
Well, why shouldn't he? Steve's been dead for 10 years.
No, Mom, we were told he was dead. The man upstairs, Edward Black, that's Steve Frame.
Whatever you say, Rachel.
Mom, I'm going to go up there today and I'm going to tell him I know who he is. And then let him try and deny it to my face.
What if he doesn't?
What?
What if he admits that he is Steve Frame?
So, what do you mean?
Well, are you going to get on the plane with Matthew and join Mitch in San Francisco, or what?
Well, I don't know.
You don't know?
Well, I have some things I have to do first.
Like what?
Well, for starters, I have to tell Jamie that his father is alive.
Rachel.
Hi, Sally.
How you doing?
Oh, pretty good sometimes, not so good others. How about you?
Well, pretty good. I've been pretty busy with school and everything.
That sounds like a full schedule.
Oh, it is.
Did you come to see your mom?
Yes, I haven't. Have you seen her around here?
No. She's out of the building right now. I think she's running some errands.
You don't know when she'd be back, do you?
I haven't the slightest idea.
Oh, shoot. I really wanted to talk to her.
Well, is there anything I can do?
No. Thanks anyway.
Well, Sally, I'd be glad to listen if it'll help.
Okay. Well, I have this friend who told me something in confidence. And I sort of went and told a few other people. And I don't know what to do.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, I thought I was helping her, but I guess I really wasn't.
Well, if you were just trying to help.
Oh, I was, but now I should have kept my big mouth shut. Now I don't know what to do.
Well, Sally, if you really want to do the right thing, I guess you've got to tell your friend that you didn't keep her secret.
Yeah, I know that's what I should do, but I'm afraid.
What are you afraid of?
Afraid I might, Well, no, actually, I'm afraid of what she might think. You see, I don't want to lose her as a friend. And I think I might, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I don't think you'll lose her as a friend. Not if she's a good friend.
So what are you going to do now?
About what?
Well, now that you know that your father's going to be all right, what are you going to do about the big one?
I don't understand the big one.
About your life.
My life?
Yeah.
Well, you mean I have to make all the decisions today, huh?
No, I don't say you have to make all the decisions today or right this minute, but maybe you should, think it out. Shouldn't wait too long.
I don't exactly follow you. Am I supposed to?
What are you going to do about Marianne?
I really don't want to talk about Marianne.
No, wait, come on. You just got here. Sit down. Relax. Talk. Come on. Well, come on, what? I happen to think that you're giving up a very beautiful, special woman.
Since you seem to forget, I'm going to remind you. I'm going to refresh your memory.
Refresh it.
Marianne is the one who broke up with me. Marianne is in love with Jamie. Marianne went out with Jamie the other night. Need I say more?
Well, I would do the same thing. I would break up with you, too, if you were hassling me as much as you hassle her. And second of all, you have no idea if Jamie does love Marianne or if Marianne does love Jamie, and you don't even know if she went out with him the other night. Well, and what difference does it make since you're seeing Blaine anyhow?
I don't want to talk about this with you or with Kit or with anybody.
Fine, Rick. Maybe you should just listen to somebody, though, instead of your selfish little self.
I came in here for a break.
Well, then go take it, pal.
I can't take it, obviously. You'll excuse me.
Oh, Miss Davis, I'm afraid this is as far as you can go. Past this point, it's off limits to everybody but Blackhawk personnel.
I want to see Mr. Steve Frame.
I beg your pardon?
Steve Frame, I want to see him.
Ah, yeah, you mentioned that name yesterday. I'm sorry, I don't know anyone named Steve Frame. There's certainly no one of that name here.
All right, let's play it your way. I want to see Mr. Edward Black.
Well, I think that could be arranged.
Good.
Oh, I'm afraid he's much too busy today, really too busy to squeeze in even another appointment. If you'd like to leave your name and number with the receptionist, we could get back to you.
You can do whatever you like, but why don't you tell Mr. Black for me that I don't know what kind of a game he's playing, but I'm going to find out. And as soon as Jamie gets back, I'm going to tell him that Steve Frame, his father, is alive and well. And then Mr. Black can explain to my son why he's ignored him for all these years.
Will take place on Thursday for the new drug rehabilitation clinic, which has not yet been officially named. Prior to this, it was to be called the James Frame Clinic, but evidently Alice thought it would be too strong a reminder for James, and they decided to change it. Both she and Mac, Corey, are very concerned about the success of the clinic because of the problems they encountered in trying to get professional help for James when he needed it.
Is that it?
Yes, that's about it. Plans are well underway, and the only thing holding them back is the funding. They need at least half of the total budget to begin.
Well, very good, Denver. Have those notes typed up and on my desk this afternoon?
Yes, of course, sir. Oh, I managed to pick up another bit of information on James Frame.
Oh, yes? What's that?
Well, it appears that his soon-to-be ex-wife, Cecile, is, as they say, with child.
Is James the father?
Well, that's a little fuzzy right now, sir. Cecile is saying that Sandy Corey is the father.
Mackenzie Corey's son.
That's right. And yet the way this information was presented to me by my source...
Sally Frame.
Yes. I have reason to believe that there is serious doubt here.
So what you're saying is Cecile Frame is pregnant. And the child was either fathered by James Frame or Sandy Corey. Is that it?
That's right.
Well, Denver, you're off to a very good start. You be sure to let me know when you figure out which one it is, all right?
Miss Davis?
Yes, that's me.
I have a letter for you. Just sign right here.
Thank you. Who is it?
It's Pat.
Oh, hi, Pat.
Hi, Rachel. I'm so glad you could see me. I know how busy you must be getting everything. Oh, there's your boxes for San Francisco.
Yeah, well, come on in. It's actually, I've sort of been delayed.
Oh, dear, something's wrong. I really have come at a bad time, haven't I?
No, I'm sorry. No, you haven't. I just, I don't know what's going on. I'm very confused.
About what?
Well, last night Jamie was supposed to take me to the airport, and he didn't show up, and apparently he's gone out of town on some work assignment.
Yeah, I know. Marianne said she talked to you.
Oh. Well, today I get this letter, and it wasn't mailed. It was just sent over by messenger from the airport.
Was it very confusing? What does he say?
Yes, it's very... I'm sorry. Sit down. It's, very confusing. He tells me that he's all right and all of that, and then he goes on and he says, you're not going to believe this, but... About 5 minutes ago, my job foreman, Frankie Cavello, came to me and told me to write a letter to you on my break. He said to tell you that I was okay. He told me that everyone was supposed to get a letter ready for the plane to take. I didn't see anybody else doing it. I felt like a kid at camp who's just been told by his counselor, after a long phone conversation with irate parents, to write a letter home. I hope that this isn't the case.
What did you?
What?
Phone?
No, I don't know what this is all about. Unless?
Unless what?
Nothing. Well, listen, you came over here to see me because you had something to talk to me about. It sounded serious, is it?
Well, I thought it was important to talk to you before you left. It's about Marianne and Jamie.
Oh, what about them?
Well, I'm very concerned about Marianne's interest in Jamie. I certainly don't approve of it, but I really don't know what to do.
Well, I feel sort of in the dark about all this. I don't know what's going on. Are they seeing each other regularly or something?
Well, they were supposed to see each other last
Yeah.
night, as you know, but Jamie didn't show up.
Yeah.
I think that Marianne has created this fantasy relationship with Jamie, and I'm just so afraid she's going to try to make it a reality. I don't know what to do. I don't even know what to say to her.
Well, in my experience, I've found that you can't say anything to kids.
Oh.
I'm sorry. That was not what you wanted to hear, was it?
No, not really.
You want to know how Jamie feels about Marianne?
Well, sort of. I guess I do,
Yeah, well, I'm afraid I can't help you, Pat. He's very close-mouthed about everything and everybody. I didn't even know that he was seeing Marianne. But I'll tell you this for what it's worth. When he decided to get a divorce, he told me that he didn't think he believed in marriage or that kind of relationship. So, you see, I think he's really been very seriously hurt by Cecile. And he's obviously not over it yet.
I was afraid of that. It seems everywhere you turn, you run into someone else who's been hurt by Cecile.
Well, if you want my opinion, I think Marianne would be the best thing in the world for Jamie. But I'm afraid he's not capable of returning any love right now. So I think it would be pointless for Marianne to pursue him.
Danny, I know I should have called you first before coming over here, but I really needed to talk to you.
You don't need a reason to see me, Sally.
I don't?
No. I told you I like your company.
Yes, I guess you did, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Now, what is it you want to talk to me about?
Well, I said something last night that I shouldn't have said.
What was that?
Well, about Cecile being pregnant.
Cecile. Oh, yeah, you said something about Sandy being the father, or was it Jamie?
No, I said Sandy was the father, but that's not the point. The point is I shouldn't have said anything to you. I mean, I promised Cecile
Relax. I'm not going to tell anyone. I mean, who would I tell?
Promise? I mean, I can get into a lot of trouble if you
Hey,
say
it's
anything.
forgotten, okay?
Okay. Thank you. I feel a lot better.
Don't worry about it.
Oh, Denny.
What?
Do you think I should tell Cecile that I didn't keep her secret?
Well, why would you want to do that? No harm's been done, and it might really upset her.
Yeah, it might. I won't tell her.
Yeah, I think it'd be best if you just kept it under your hat. Forgot about it.
Really?
Really? Hey, you haven't done anything wrong.
Thanks.
Let me guess. It's Marianne, isn't it?
Maybe you think I shouldn't get involved, Rick, but she's my daughter. I love her, and I'm very worried about her.
I can understand that. Look, I wish our marriage hadn't fallen apart. It did. I mean, I think it's too late to talk. The damage is done, as they say.
No, it's not too late. You're wrong about that. I know that some of the damage was caused by Jamie.
That's right. Marianne loves him.
No, she doesn't. Right now, she may think she loves him, Rick, but there's a difference.
I think it's the same thing.
No, it's not. My daughter, unfortunately, is not very realistic about her marriage or about feelings for Jamie. She's not very realistic. But I know one thing. Even if she thinks she loves him, he doesn't love her.
How do you know that, Pat?
Because my sister told me she had a long talk with Jamie. And he said that he cares for Marianne the same as he cares for you as a friend.
Yes.
He feels very badly about coming between you.
I've heard that before. He said the same thing to me.
Oh, well, don't you believe it?
I don't know what to believe anymore.
Just think about it, will you?
Okay. I've heard what you have to say. I just, to be very honest, don't know if there's anything more to think about.
You know what I think it is? I think he just is afraid to see me. But I've got a lot I want to talk to him about. I want to tell him I know who he is, and I want to tell him about Jamie.
Rachel.
What? I want to tell him why. I want to find out why he's ignored Jamie all these years.
Rachel.
What?
You know Denny Hobson.
Yes, he's Clarice's brother.
That's right, that's him.
So what about him?
He works for Blackhawk.
That's right, he does. He was all involved in that hostage situation.
That's right.
So you think that he could get me in to see Steve?
If there is a Steve, he might. It's worth a try, isn't it?
It certainly is. Thanks, Mom.
Hi. Come on in. I'm so glad you could come over. I really need to talk to you.
Well, Sally, you've piqued my curiosity. What did you want to talk to me about that we couldn't talk about at the complex?
Here, let me take it. Well, I really didn't want to discuss it at the complex.
Why? What is it?
I'll tell you. Wait a minute. Well, Cecile, you know that you've been my best friend ever since I came back to Bay City, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. And you know that I would never do anything in the world to hurt you, don't you?
Yeah, Sally, what are you trying to say? This is beginning to sound ominous.
No, it's nothing like that. Well, when you told me that you were pregnant and that you didn't know who the father was...
No, I said that the father is Sandy.
Yeah, well, I was afraid that Jamie might find out before you wanted him to, and, well, that he would think the baby was his, and, well, he's been so mean to you and everything that... Well, I saw him last week at the college, and I told him that you were pregnant, but he assumed that the baby was Sandy's.
You didn't?
I did.
Oh.
But look, I thought you wanted him to know the baby was Sandy's.
Sally, tell me you didn't tell him. Tell me.
Listen, though. He said he didn't care. And he said that he hopes the two of you are very happy together.
I understand your father's going to be all right.
Yeah,
I'm glad, Rick. I'm really glad.
thanks. Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you see Jamie the other night? Go out with him?
No.
No?
No, he was out of town.
Oh.
Rick.
You go ahead.
No, you.
I just wanted to know if I could ask you another question.
It's about Jamie. No, Rick, I don't want to talk about it.
No. It's not about Jamie. It's about us. Can we talk about us?
You want to talk about us?
Yes, I do.
All right. I'd like that. As long as you don't talk about Jamie.
And you don't talk about Blaine.
Fine. It's
Good.
a deal.
Good.
I don't get off until 11. Is that too late?
No, that's just fine. It's fine.
Okay, then.
You want me to pick you up?
Sure.
So, 11 in the ECU.
Fine. Rick,
Yeah.
I'm really glad we're going to talk. It's something we've needed to do for a long, long time.
Hello, I'm Miss Davis, and I would like to see Danny Hobson.
Do you have an appointment?
I
Miss
don't
Davis?
have an appointment. I want to see him. Now, are you going to tell him I'm here, or do I just walk right in?
May I ask what this is in regard to, or is it something I can help you with?
There's nothing you can help me with. There's a lot going on around here that I don't understand, and I'm not leaving until I get... Hi, Danny. I want to talk to you.
Of course. Please, step into my office. We can relax there.
Well, it's about Jamie.
Well, what about Jamie?
Thank you. Well, I want to know where he is and what he's doing.
Well, didn't someone from Blackhawk get in touch with you?
Yes, they called me. They told me that he was gone on some work project or something.
Well, that's true. That's where he is right now.
So they just whisk somebody away in the middle of the night and they don't tell anybody where he is or where he's going or when he's going to come back?
Miss Davis, he was not whisked away, as you call it. We had an emergency at one of our projects, and we asked for volunteers from our regular crew and offered them a sizable bonus for the job. Now, I can assure you that Jamie went of his own free will. He was not whisked away in the dead of night for some strange and mysterious purpose.
Well, then when is he going to be back?
Well, probably late tomorrow night. That is, if everything goes well.
Well, that's a relief. I mean, it's been very mysterious, like some bad movie or something.
Well, we're not making movies here, good or bad. We're in the construction business.
Yes, construction.
Sometimes we have these emergencies. I suppose every business has them. There's no mystery or secret to it. They just come up and we deal with them.
Well, thank you. I feel a lot better.
Not at all. Is there anything else I can do for you?
Yes, as a matter of fact, there is.
Name it.
You can tell me about Steve Frame.
I'm sorry, I don't know who that is.
I think you do.
Please.
He calls himself Mr. Edward Black.
What?
Well, this Mr. Black is really Stephen Frame.
I don't understand.
Steve Frame is my son's father, and I want to know what he's doing here.
Oh, Sally, I don't understand you at all. How could you possibly have done that? How could you have told me? Hi.
Hi.
I didn't know you were here. Well, you're just in time for a drink with me, huh?
Hey, sweetheart.
What?
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. It was just a wonderful day. How was yours?
It's okay. Are you sure you're all right?
Yeah, I said I was, didn't I?
Yeah. Sure doesn't sound like it, and you don't look like it. So you want to tell me what happened?
Nothing happened.
Well, then what's with Sally?
What do you mean, what's with Sally?
Well, I heard you talking to yourself about Sally when I came in. Sounded like she'd done something.
No. It was just something at work she did. It was nothing serious. I'm tired, that's all.
Yeah, you probably are. Come on, why don't you sit down? Put your feet up.
Oh. It's so nice to have you here when I come home. I'm glad you're here. I love you.
I love you, too. I just hope nothing ever happens that ends this between us.
Well, it won't. Not if we don't let it.
Listen, you want to tell me about what happened with Sally? What made you upset? Maybe
No.
I'll help you to talk about
It was
babe.
nothing. It was nothing. It'll work out. She's just, inexperienced, and I have to be more patient with her, that's all.
You're not keeping anything from me, are you?
You keep asking me that. I told you that I would never keep anything from you, and I meant it.
Yeah, you did tell me that, didn't you?
Look, give me a kiss and forget about it. Forget about everything and everyone, just you and me.
glad you could make it.
Oh, come on. I told you I was going to come by today, didn't I?
Yes, I was expecting you. I have to talk to you about something.
What?
There's something you should know. I'm going to see Marianne tonight.
Oh?
Yeah, we have to talk about some things. And
Why tonight? I mean, you spent the last couple of days with her in Philadelphia. Couldn't you talk to her?
I didn't.
Why not?
She didn't go.
She didn't. Why? What happened?
Well, I, in true Rick Holloway fashion, put my worst foot forward and made a big mistake.
What'd you do?
I didn't listen again. I never listened to what Marianne was saying to me. I never tried to understand what she was feeling. It was only myself. I must walk around the world with blinders on. I just don't notice other people, especially Marianne.
That's not true. I mean, you always noticed me. You always listened to me when I was having problems. And
Be that as it may, I failed as far as Marianne is concerned, and so I'm going to go out with her tonight, and this time I am going to listen.
Rick, where does that leave us?
Us?
Yes, us.
Lena, I don't honestly know.
Oh.
I just have to talk to Marianne.
Yeah, of course you do, sure.
Please don't be upset.
I'm not upset. I am not upset.
I owe her that much. Just to listen to her.
Is that what you wanted to hear?
I want to hear how you feel.
How I feel? Well, it's more like what I feel or what I don't feel. I don't feel anything. I mean, this thing with Marianne, I think sometimes it's just in my head. And that's where it should stay. She's been the wife of a good friend of mine. I mean, Rick has been a very good friend. When it comes to relationships, I don't know anything anymore.
What do you want, James?
What do I want? I want to love someone. And to have someone love me. If I were writing it the way I wanted it to be, I'd write that Marianne Holloway is in love with me. And I am very much in love with her. But, like I said, maybe it's only in my head. But I don't want to put myself in that kind of position. I don't want to hurt anyone. Not like I was hurt. I won't do that to Marianne. Or Rick.
Oh, is it that time already?
Mm-hmm.
Well, here are some cases. I think we should have them ready by early next week.
All right. You have a good time.
Thanks.
Mom?
What? Oh. It's you.
Huh? Yeah, it's me.
I fell asleep. Oh. Well, how'd it go?
Oh, not what I wanted. How'd it go with you and Matthew?
Okay, fine. I put him down for a nap a little while ago. I needed the rest.
Yeah, I know what you mean. He can be quite a handful. Well, I really appreciate you taking him today. I don't know what I would have done with him.
Gotten a babysitter, like everybody else.
Was he really that much trouble?
No. He entertained the customers all afternoon. They were crazy about him.
How about Rhonda? How did she do opening up?
Fine, just fine. She was okay.
Good.
Well, what happened?
Nothing much.
What about Denny? What'd he say?
He said he didn't know who Steve Frame was, or at least that's what he said. I don't know, they're all so secretive around there. Found out about Jamie, though. Jamie did volunteer to go on this work assignment. He gets some extra money. But nothing about Steve.
There is no Steve. I think Denny would have told you if there was.
I'm not so sure about that.
Rachel, you're not getting anywhere with this. Now, every day that goes by puts you closer to when you have to get on that plane with Matthew and leave for San Francisco to see Mitch. Now, Lisa's up here at the end.
Are you a good girl? Of course you're a good girl. Come on, sit down here. Are you're gonna stay and continue to be a good girl, okay? I'll tell you why I came over here.
Why?
I came over to tell you that I have to go away for a while. Yeah. I have to go and be with Mitch in San Francisco with Matthew. Okay? Remember San Francisco and how much fun we had there?
Yeah.
And you know what else? Every summer you'll come and visit me and Mitch and Matthew in San Francisco. And we'll have a lovely time. We'll do all the things that we did when we were there last time. We'll go to the beach, and we'll play in the sand and build sand castles. And you know, if you're really good, we'll go to the zoo and see all the animals. Would you like that? Okay. And you know what else we can do? We can go and ride on the cable cars. You liked that last time you were there, didn't you? Yes, you did. We'll have a wonderful time. And you know what else? I've got a surprise for you. A present for Amanda. You want me to open it? Okay. Look at what this is. Isn't that pretty? Do you know what that is? It's a locket. Yes, it opens up. Can I show you? Okay, let me do it. Who's that? Yes, and who's this? Mommy, yes. Now, you see, you have pictures of Mommy and Matthew. So whenever you want to see either of us, all you have to do is open it up. And there we are. We'll always be close to you. So, you take this downstairs and you show it to Louise, okay? Give me a big hug first. I'll miss you.
Okay.
You go on. Honey, give me a kiss.
Rachel, are you listening to me?
I'm sorry, what were you saying?
When are you leaving for San Francisco?
I don't know. Maybe I can get an extension on the lease here. For a little while longer.
Well, don't count on it. Are you thinking about not going?
I don't know.
Well, what do you mean you don't know?
I've got a lot I've got to do here.
Well, like what?
Well, I want to find out about this Edward Black. And I want to find out if Jamie is all right, really, after that strange letter.
I thought Denny explained all that.
I'm not so sure he was telling the truth.
Honey, you don't want to believe anybody about anything. Now, I read that letter from Jamie. It's not so strange.
Maybe Matt can help me.
Rachel, you have got to think about leaving and going to San Francisco.
I'm not leaving here until I know what's going on around here, all right?
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Another World.
You're not going to tell me what it is, are you?
I shouldn't have brought it up at all.
Is it because you're not feeling well?
What?
That you don't want to talk about it?
No, that's not it at all.
Look, sweetheart, I don't want anything to come between us. Not people, not secrets, not anything. So if something's bothering you, I want you to tell me about it, okay?
Okay. I promise you'll be the first to know. But you know what I think I need right now? I just think it'd be best if I were alone, you know?
You mean tonight?
Yeah, tonight.
No way. No, I think what you need to do is to get out of here tonight. So, what do you say we blow this place, maybe go get some dinner, listen to a little music, just you and me?
I'd just spoil your fun.
You never spoil my fun.
Oh, tonight I'd spoil your fun in the mood I'm in.
No. I like you in any mood you're in. I like you when you're mean and when you're nagging and scheming and plotting and crabby. I like you when you're crabby. No, I mean it, baby. I love you. And I don't expect you to be perfect. Everybody has faults. I love you with yours, whatever they are. But to tell you the truth, I haven't noticed any yet.
Yet. But you will notice them. And then you won't love me anymore.
Oh, I don't want to hear any more of this. Go on. Go get your coat. Go.
Sandy, I
Baby,
don't
just
think I
go get
should.
your coat. I'm going to ply you with food and drink, and then you're going to tell me what's bothering you. Go.
Okay. I warned you.
Oh, is it that time already? Well, here are the first couple of cases. Have them ready early next week.
You have a good time.
Thanks.
Where does all this get you, James?
I don't know what you mean.
Yes, you do.
When I'm real honest with myself, I have to admit that I'm in love with her. Maybe... Marianne Holloway is in love with me, and I'm very much in love with her. But
Denver. Oh, I'm sorry to bother you, sir. It's just that I just came from a meeting in my office with Rachel Davis, and she was very upset.
Oh, what's upsetting Miss Davis today?
Well, she was asking a lot of questions about her son, where he'd been sent, stuff like that.
Well, you satisfied all of her requests, I assume?
About her son, yes, I did.
But then what's the trouble?
Well, it was what she said about you, sir.
Oh, what was that?
She said that your real name is Stephen Frame, and that you're the father of her son, James. Is that true?
Another world.
Hey, Melissa. Hey, babe.
Hi, how are you, sweetheart?
Sounds great. It's great.
Cecile. Hello, Melissa.
So, how have you been? You look great.
Fine. Just fine.
Sweetheart, if you'll excuse me, I want to go to the ladies' room. Where is it, Melissa?
It's right down that way.
Let's see. So, is everything right with you, doll?
It's great. It's just great. Except for one little thing.
One little thing, what's that?
I'm worried about you.
Worried about me? Hey, well, don't be. Look, I'm healthy. Everything's beautiful.
Well, what about your eyes?
My eyes? What are you talking about?
Well, maybe I'm mistaken, but I was under the impression that you were blind. Oh, maybe that's just a temporary little condition there.
Come on, Melissa, don't start that, all right?
Start what?
You know what?
I see you're
Whoa, Melissa, where are you going?
no point in hanging around here.
Look, come here, Melissa. You want to tell me what you're talking about?
Well, if you don't know, maybe you have more problems than I thought. Maybe you're a little deaf, too.
Look.
Any scotch, double?
Coming up.
Hey, Rick. Are you alone or are you expecting someone?
No, I'm alone. And I'm not expecting anyone. That's exactly the way I want it.
Well, fine. Okay. It's nice talking to you.
Thanks. Stick around. I don't want to see the bottom of this glass. Understand?
You want to tell me what's eating you, Melissa?
What's eating me is that my best friend is making the worst decision of his life, and he can't see it, and he won't even listen.
Melissa, you're crazy. Why don't you just stop this? Why don't
Fine. That's your decision, okay? You do whatever you want. Just don't expect me to approve.
Sandy?
Hey, babe, you okay?
I'm fine. I'm always okay when I'm with you.
Yes, Denver. That's true.
Then James Frame is your...
He's my son. Yes.
Then what Rachel said was true?
Well, I don't know what all she said. But that part, at least, is true.
And Alice Frame?
Is my wife. Was my wife.
But what happened?
It's a very long story. And I can't get into it right now. For the moment, it's enough for you to know that I'm Stephen Frame. And the importance of the information with which you've been providing me.
I see.
When the time is right, you'll know the whole story.
I didn't mean to,
I understand your curiosity.
Well, it's not so much that. It's just... Well, when Rachel Davis handed that bit of news to me, I thought the lady was cracking up or something.
You handled it just right by coming here. But no more questions. Do you understand?
Yes, I do, sir. And I'm sorry if I intruded into your private... Well, into areas where I don't belong.
No apologies are necessary. But I do need your word.
My word?
Yes. Until I tell you otherwise, what you've learned is to be kept in the strictest confidence.
I see.
No one is to know I'm Stephen Frame. Until I say so.
Well, what about Rachel Davis? I mean, she already knows. What are you going to do about that?
Don't you concern yourself about her. I'll deal with that.
Okay.
Do I have your word?
What? Oh, yes, sir, of course.
Denver?
What?
If you'll excuse me, I have some work to do.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Mrs. Johnson, you just sit there and don't move until that top coat is dry. Don't even turn the pages of that magazine or it's going to get all messed up again.
Hi.
Oh, hi. I'll be with you in just a second.
Am I late?
Late for what?
For my manicure. Do you have any new colors? I heard about this great new color. It's called Purple Passion. You paint it on.
Come on, you're so silly.
Okay, if you won't give me a manicure, would you paint my hair green?
Don't laugh. Clarice had 2 customers last week who wanted green streaks on the back of their heads.
You're not serious.
They were.
Therese didn't do it, did she?
Sure she did. The customer always gets what she wants. After all, it's her money.
Yeah, and her hair.
So what are you doing down here?
Seriously? I was worried about you.
Me? Really?
Yeah, I tried to call you several times, and each time I was told that you were sleeping or busy or something.
Those brothers of mine. Boy, oh boy.
They really hate your seeing me, don't they?
Hey, it isn't you. I told you that. It's just that, well, they'd hate anybody who was seeing me, you know?
Only too well.
It's funny.
You think it's funny?
No, that's not what I meant. I meant that it's funny how I used to think it was fun to have older brothers. That's when I was a kid.
Obviously, you are very special to your family.
Well, I was a pet, I guess. I always used to hang around with my brothers and do all the things they were doing. But now they're driving me bananas. Look, don't pay any attention to them, all right?
How do I do that if they ignore my phone calls?
Let me worry about that, okay?
But if they're hassling you...
Don't you understand? I don't care. What's a little hassle? As long as it's worth it. As long as I can be with you.
If you're sure.
Of course I'm sure. Well?
Well, what?
You must have stopped by for some other reason.
Yeah?
Yeah, like maybe you wanted to ask me out or something?
Yeah, I did think of that.
Tonight?
Yeah, tonight's fine. Thanks for asking.
Good. Listen.
What?
Why don't we go over to Clarice's and Larry's and I'll make up a big pot of spaghetti and use up that hamburger she left in the refrigerator. What do you say?
What can I say?
Say yes.
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 Hi.
Melissa?
I didn't see you come in.
You were busy.
Well, so are you from the looks of that glass. Now, you're really packing them away, aren't you?
I'm working very seriously at it. Mm-hmm.
All alone and drinking. Doesn't sound good to me.
On the contrary. Seemed like the best thing to do.
Problems, huh?
Problems? What kind of problems could a guy like me have?
And depressed.
No, me? No, I'm not depressed. The longer I sit here, the happier I get. I'm feeling fine. Perfect.
Body language says the man is feeling bad. Real bad. Where's Marianne? Guess I put my finger on the problem, huh? You two have a fight?
Going to. If I talk to her.
You got it all planned, huh?
No. I don't want to talk to her.
Might help.
No, it won't.
Why not?
Because it would be pointless.
Well, that's a great attitude to take. That's going to get you defeated before you even go in.
No. You're missing the point.
Oh, I'm listening for it.
Like I said, I'm like a fool. I really did think that we could talk. That maybe I was being unfair. That maybe what she said was true. That she wasn't in love with Jamie, and Jamie wasn't in love with her.
Wait a second. I mean, this is getting very complicated. You...
Tell me about it. I thought maybe it was because I was never really sure of her.
Well, we're still talking about Marianne.
Marianne. My wife. No, I just felt it. Started to believe that it was my fault. Too insecure.
Yeah, I know. So, what happened?
What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, what happened? Yes, something happened, or...
What?
I can't say. It wouldn't be ethical. I'm a psychiatrist, you know. Well, soon to be. Which is the same thing. And we're not allowed to discuss our patients' and what they say.
But you have me completely lost here.
It's all right.
No, wait. Hey, I really would like to help if I can.
It's okay.
Well, drinking down all this booze is not going to help you at all, my friend.
Wrong.
No, Rick, why don't you just go home now?
I'm much better off sitting here drinking.
Rick, please.
Melissa, will you please excuse me? I would really like to be alone right now, all right?
Sure. If you say so.
So what we have now, at this point, is she knows. There's no doubt Rachel Davis knows I'm Stephen Frame.
How much does Hobson know?
Well, he deduced that if I'm James Frame's father, I must be Alice Frame's husband. Do you think we can trust him to keep his mouth shut?
Oh, I'm sure we can. If you instructed him to keep quiet, I don't think you have to worry about it.
I'm going to take your word for that.
The question is, what are you going to do now?
About what?
Well, judging from my limited experience, I would say that Rachel Davis is a woman who could cause considerable trouble if she put her mind to it.
Oh, how very astute of you, Curtis. You can count on it.
Now look, Edward, you came to Bay City to get Alice Frame back. Now we have this woman who may be ready to cause trouble for you. Time is running out on you. I would recommend that you take action immediately.
That's exactly what I intend to do.
Thanks. Alice, what time is it?
It is 10:34 by the little clock on the wall right behind you.
Is that all?
That's the third time in 15 minutes that you've asked what time it is. You in a hurry to get out of here or something?
Yeah, something like that. Oh! Look what I did. It's going to take me all night to get this file back in order.
No, it isn't. Here, I'll help you.
That's not your job.
You think I pull rank on my favorite niece?
Ha! Big choice. I'm the only one you got.
Doesn't matter. What's the matter with you?
Nothing.
You've been kind of crabby all night.
I'm sorry. I can't help it.
What's bothering you?
I don't know. It's just nerves, I guess.
About what?
I'm supposed to see Rick tonight after I get off.
No wonder you're nervous. You think you're going to make up?
One step at a time, Alice. This is just a talk.
I understand. I guess I'm just eager to see the two of you get back together and resolve your problems. That is, if that's what you want.
I don't know what I want.
Well, that makes it pretty difficult to resolve the problem then, doesn't it?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, maybe our marriage is really over, but I just can't stand to see Rick and I acting like this.
Like what?
Always jumping and shouting at each other. I mean, that's all we ever seem to do is argue. Maybe it's just as well.
Dr. Jones, please call your service.
Marianne,
Please call your service.
do you want it to be over?
I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. I don't know how I feel about anything.
What about Jamie?
What about him?
How do you feel about him?
I don't know.
We must fit in somewhere.
Well, if he does, I don't know about it.
Marianne, you know that Jamie has been through a very difficult time.
I know that. I'm missing the consent form for the angiogram.
I got it. Here.
Thanks.
It might not hurt to be aware that Jamie possibly isn't ready for a relationship with anyone, at least not for a while.
I know that. There was an X-ray report here, too.
Got it.
Thank you.
Okay, just one word of caution.
What?
If you do go back to Rick, just make sure it's the right reason.
Okay, buddy, that's it for you. You've had enough booze for one night.
Oh, totally wrong. Oh. I'm not numb enough.
Well, you're going to have to reach that condition someplace else.
Bartender, Another?
No, Marty,
Double.
give him his tab. Dr. Holloway has had all he's going to drink here tonight. Come on, buddy. You got somebody to drive you home?
Oh, so more empty wall. No, I like it here. It's a nice place. Makes me feel good. Okay?
Yeah, well, listen, buddy, who can I call?
Why do you want to call someone?
I gotta find somebody to drive you home.
I can drive myself.
No. You're in no shape to drive anywhere. Now, look, we've got to find someone to drive you home.
You didn't seem to hear what I said. I said that I want to stay here. You hear me? You understand what I'm saying? I like it. It makes me feel good.
Okay. Okay, have it your way. For the moment. Thank you.
Hello?
Blaine, this is Jason.
Oh, hi, Jason. What's up?
Listen, Blaine, there's a friend of yours down here.
A friend?
Yeah, Rick Holloway. He's in pretty bad shape.
Why? What happened to him?
About a bottle of scotch from the looks of him. He's 2 sheets to the wind. Blaine, can you come down here and get him?
Is he alone?
Yeah, he's alone. That's why I called you. I wouldn't have asked you to come down and get him if he wasn't.
No, I guess not. All right, I'll be there right away.
Sandy, I want to go home.
Wait a minute, baby. I want to hear Melissa sing first before we go, okay?
I want to go now.
Sweetheart, I thought you wanted to stay out and have a good time tonight.
Well, I think that we can have even a better time at home.
Oh, you do you?
Yes, I do. I want to go home. I want to feel your arms around me. I want you to be close to me.
Darling, there's no turning back, no turning back, no turning back, not for me.
Oh, that was terrific.
You're not just saying that?
No, I'm not. Did you see how much I ate? 2 heaping helpings.
Yeah, I guess you did. You really liked it?
Do I have to eat another plateful to prove it? Hey, what's this all about?
I'm gonna wash the dishes. I don't want to leave the place a mess.
Oh,
for
what's the
kids.
hurry? We'll do it later together.
I better get him done now. I don't have a whole lot of time.
I thought we were spending the evening together.
Well, I better not stay out too late or my brothers are liable to send a search party.
I was afraid of that.
Oh, hey, don't be sorry. I wanted to see you very much.
So you're humoring them by coming in early, is that it?
Well, not exactly.
Oh, what then?
I told them I was having dinner with a girlfriend.
I don't want you to do that, Ron, to sneak around
I
like
don't mind,
some...
Jerry. Really, I don't.
I do. I mind a lot. If your family doesn't want you to see me...
Don't say it, Jerry. Please don't.
Say what?
You're going to tell me that you don't want to see me anymore, and I couldn't take that. I really couldn't.
It's not that I don't want to see you. It's just...
No, I don't want to hear it. I've fallen in love with you, Jerry. Don't you know that?
I know, Ron.
Do you like me, Jerry? Even just a little bit?
I like you a lot. Okay. I love you, too. And now, like a fool, I'm going to take you home.
What about the dishes?
Forget about the dishes, okay?
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Wait.
Jason, where is he?
He's over there at the bar.
What happened to him? What's wrong?
They got me. He came in here real early and he started pouring it down, and I finally had to call a halt to his drinking. That's what's left of him.
Why didn't you stop him earlier anyway?
I tried to stop him. Melissa tried to stop him. But the man has a mind of his own. Or at least he did have. I tried to call him a cab, but he said no. Nothing's budging him.
That poor guy.
That stupid guy, if you ask me,
Yeah.
doing that to himself.
Well, listen, I'll take care of him, all right?
Yeah, you're gonna need me, though, so his legs are not gonna be able to carry him out of here.
Okay, just stick close. I want a minute with him first, all right?
Don't knock yourself out, but I'll be here.
Okay, thanks. Rick? Hi, it's me.
Oh, me.
Yeah, that's right.
What are you doing in my place?
I came to take you home. Yeah, you're at the connection, and I'm going to take you home, all right?
Yeah.
That's okay with you.
Yeah, I'm just getting a little lonely here.
All right, wait, hold on. Lean on me. Jason, come
Lean
on.
on him, just
Lean
like-
on me. Come on.
Come on, fella.
All right. Stand
Hey, are you okay?
Oh, I don't know.
Are you feeling sick, babe?
No, no, it's...
What is
just,
it? What is it?
It's nothing. I'm fine.
No, you're not. You're white as a sheet.
Sandy, I'm okay. It must have just been the wine that I drank, I guess, on an empty stomach. No, I'm sorry. I'm okay, baby. I really am. Just hold me.
Baby, what's the matter, really?
Nothing. I told you, nothing.
Listen, did you make an appointment with a doctor?
No, not yet.
Baby, that's not playing fair.
What do you mean?
Look, sweetheart, I care about you, and because I care, I worry about you. Now, look, you haven't been feeling well for some time, isn't that right? Yes, that is right. Now, tomorrow morning, first thing, I want you to make an appointment with a doctor. If you don't do it, I'll make that appointment, and I'll take you there myself. Do you understand me? Good. I'm going to find out once and for all why you're so sick.
All right. Okay. Rick. Come on. All right. We're in. Oh. Here, sit down if you can, okay? It's like magic. The lights go on. What are you doing? Come on. Get up, please. Please.
Quit that.
Quit what? Rick. Please.
It's nice.
Will you help me? Come on. I can't lift you up by myself.
It's very hard to pull. Feels like my fingers.
All right, now come on. Listen, I'm going to get you into bed so you can sleep this off. Now, come on. Ouch. Okay?
Are you all right?
Sure, I'm fine. And you?
Yes. You're perfect.
Good. Good.
No.
You're
tickling. No, you're tickling me. Oh,
that's great. All right. Rose, you can't stay like this. You're going to smother if you stay like this, okay? So come on. Come on. Come, please. You're a dead weight. I really can't do anything. Pardon the pun. All right, come on. Oh. All right, at least
Just turn your head so you can breathe, okay? Come on. There you go.
Wait a minute. Where are you going?
Is this an act? Wait a minute. Is this an act? Because if this is an act...
No, what are you talking about? Huh?
Of course this isn't an act. What am I, crazy? All right, I'm going to go make you some coffee.
No.
I'll be right back. You make yourself comfortable.
Please don't leave me alone. Please don't.
Rick, please. Please, I'm going to make you some coffee, okay?
Coffee.
No. Whether you want coffee or not is irrelevant. I got to sober you up, all right?
I don't want to sober up. Oh. And I don't want to make coffee. I want another drink.
You can't have another drink.
Oh, you know how hard I work to get this way.
Numb, right?
Numb is right. Yeah. And now you want to douse all these nice feelings with coffee? You're a hard-hearted person, Blaine Ewing. You're a very hard
Well,
person.
look, you know my name. At least that's a start. Come on. Can we do something, please? Oh, Rick. Rick, come on. I just want to make you some coffee, all right?
No,
okay?
no.
Come on, please. I got to make you some coffee. You're going to be very sorry in the morning if I don't make you some coffee
I'm
now.
going to be very sorry tonight if you do.
Rick, please, come on.
All right, wait a minute, hold on. I'll prove to you that I am... All right. You see? I'm fine.
Oh, Rick.
All right, spinning.
So's mine, dear. What am I going to do with you?
You really want me to tell you?
Come on. Come on. You're doing and saying a lot of things that you're going to regret in the morning.
Regret.
Rick? You awake? Are you even alive?
Yes, I'm aware of that, Miss Davis, but I think we've answered that question, haven't we? Good. Now, we have a favor to ask of you. We must ask you not to tell anyone of your suspicions until we've had an opportunity to sit down and discuss this with you. Is that acceptable to you? I assure you we all have a lot to lose, Miss Davis, including you, whether you believe it or not. I really must ask for your promise on this. Very well, if that's the way you feel. But believe me, Miss Davis, I see. Well, in that case, there seems to be nothing more to say, except good night.
Did she give you a hard time?
Let me put it this way. I'd hate to have to do business with that woman.
Mind if I sit down?
No, I don't mind at all.
Thank you. Would you make mine a beer, too, please?
So, how's it going over at Blackhawk?
Oh, fine. Just fine.
Must be a pretty interesting place to work.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Did you ever find out what they do over there?
Beg pardon?
Well, you asked me to check it out once, remember?
Oh, yeah, I did, didn't I?
Yeah. So?
What?
What does Blackhawk do?
Oh, no, there's no real mystery about it. They're just into construction.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's what they do. They construct.
And why all the mystery?
Well, just the way they operate, I guess. Thanks.
You mean you're not into martinis now?
What do you mean now?
Well, a big, high-class place like Blackhawk, you know. Figured all the executives would drinking martinis.
Well, yeah, maybe, but not me. Beer's my drink, always has been.
Yeah, mine too. Yes, that's why I went back to being a cop.
Is that working out for you, being back on the force?
Yes and no.
That's profound. What do you mean by that?
Well, yes, it means that I like it, and no, just that my life would be a lot easier if it wasn't.
Talk about sounding mysterious.
That wasn't meant to be. It's just that, well, right now I'm seeing this girl. Her name's Rhonda, and her family is all over her for dating a cop.
You got something against cops?
Not really. Her older brother's one.
Oh, I see. They got something against you, personally, being a cop.
Yeah, probably. They think I'm too old for her.
How old is she?
19.
Well, what's the big deal? I was afraid you were going to tell me she was 12.
I'm several years older than she is.
There can't be that many years older than she is. Listen, I know I got in trouble the last time I tried to give you advice. It sort of backfired on me, so I'm a little leery about giving you any now, but...
Go ahead. I can take it.
All right. I know it's none of my business, but if you really like this girl, and she likes you, I can't imagine why you'd be intimidated by her family.
Oh, you got a point there, Hobson.
Alice, what time is it? Oh, it's 11:30. I wonder where it can be.
You've been waiting for him to show up for half an hour. Isn't that a little unusual for Rick?
Yeah, he's pretty punctual.
You think he won't show up at all?
Alice, I don't know what to think. I'm so tired.
Well, maybe you should try to call him at the apartment. He might have fallen asleep or something.
He's not there.
You called already?
Yeah, I tried him a little while ago. He's not in.
Well, maybe he's in now.
If he's in, then why isn't he calling me to tell me he's going to be late? Anything.
Oh, I wish I knew. Well, so what are you going to do?
Go home, I guess. There's no point in my staying here. I'm dead on my feet.
You really are tired. Look, why don't I drive you home?
No, really, it's all right. I'll be all right.
No, I'd be glad to do it.
No, really, I'm fine.
It's really late, and you shouldn't be out alone.
Alice, I go home alone every night, and
What is it?
Why would he do something like this? I mean, just not show up. I mean, he said he wanted to talk, and then he does something like this. I just don't understand it.
Well, maybe something came up.
Well, then why wouldn't he call?
Well, I'm sure there's a good reason.
You don't think something's happened to him, do you?
No, of course not.
But this isn't like him.
Look, I think I want to drive you home. You're in no shape to drive yourself. Will you let me do that for you?
Thanks, no. I think I'd really rather be alone.
What do you think she'll do?
You know what she'll do? She'll try to see Alice Frame.
Why do you say that?
What other options has she?
All right. What do you suggest?
What I suggested before. You have to speak to Rachel Davis and answer her questions.
Very well. Arrange it.
When?
As soon as possible. We have to deflect her before she does too much damage.
Now, Edward, there is one other alternative.
What's that?
To leave Bay City. Miss Davis really doesn't know very much. Mrs. Frame knows nothing at all. James is out of town and was never really part of the big...
Curtis, I do appreciate your concern. Sometimes I think you don't know me at all. I came here to do something, and I'm going to do it. You know that. So you just get Rachel in here tomorrow. I'll try to take a little of the fire out of her nostrils before she eats us all.
ICU. May I help you? This is Alice Frame. Oh, Rachel. How are you? Yeah, fine. I'm just fine. What for? Tonight? Well, it's awfully late, Rachel. No, I'm sorry. I'm just too tired. Well, I don't know, really. Yes, I do. I have the day shift tomorrow. Well, that's a little difficult, too. Yes, I do have plans. Well, if it's urgent, I suppose I could break them. All right, fine. I'll meet you at L'Auberge at 8 p.m. Fine. See you then.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Another World.
Just one more question regarding the contribution to the Drug Rehabilitation Center. Should the check go to the fundraising committee or directly to
the fundraising committee, in care of Mac Corey, since he's the founder of the program.
Fine. I'll get it to him the first thing this morning.
Good. One more thing.
Yeah?
When is Rachel Davis coming in to see me today?
Well, there's a problem with that. I'm really not quite sure.
What do you mean you're not sure? You set up a time for her, didn't you?
I wasn't able to reach her last night, and this morning nobody seems to know where she is.
Curtis. I want you to find that woman. I want you to find her today. I have to see her today.
I understand that, Edward, but suppose she doesn't want to see you.
Oh, she wants to see me, all right. She wants to see me very much.
Dr. Curtis, please call your service.
Morning, honey. Oh, these back-to-back shifts are the greatest, aren't they?
Strong coffee is the only solution.
I think 2 days in bed is the only solution. Coffee just props you up until... Oh, Marianne, are you all right?
Sure, why?
Well, after last night, I'm sure Rick had a very good reason for not showing up, right?
Wrong.
Oh, he didn't say why he didn't show up?
I haven't talked to him, and frankly, I really don't intend to.
Well, I can understand how you'd be hurt by his standing you up, but, well, maybe he did have a good reason.
Alice, if he'd been hurt or something, I mean, Kit would have known about it and she would have called me. But there's been nothing. I mean, what excuse could he possibly have? There's really no point talking about it. Obviously, our marriage is over, and he just knew about it before I did and decided not to waste his time arguing about it.
Marianne, if I can give you any advice at all, just don't be hasty about this.
Hasty? He's had all kinds of time to get in touch with me. He just hasn't done it.
I'm sorry you're so hurt.
I'm hurt. But more than anything else, I'm mad. I'm furious that he'd do this to me. I'll tell you one thing, never again.
Oh, boy, we're quite a pair this morning, aren't we?
Oh, I'm sorry. Here I am going on about my problems. I didn't realize you were...
Oh, not problems. Really. I'm tired, that's a problem, but solvable.
What is it?
Oh, I'm just sort of confused about a very strange phone call I got last night. It was from Rachel.
All the way from San Francisco?
No, she's in town.
But the last time I talked to her, she was all packed and ready to leave on the next plane.
Yeah, well, she postponed her departure for some reason.
Well, did she say what she wanted?
Which was very mysterious. She wanted to see me last night, but I put her off, and then she insisted on seeing me tonight, and I have to break my plans with Mac to do it.
Are you going to go?
Sure. Might as well see what she has to say.
Come in.
Mac?
Rachel. I thought you'd gone to San Francisco.
Another world.
What happened to you? You look awful. I'm not shouting. I'm talking my normal early morning voice. What happened?
I had a contest for the bottle of scotch. Scotch 7, Holloway 0.
Did you get drunk?
Well, I hope that's the reason that I feel like this. Either that or I'm dying.
Rick.
Actually, dying right now seems like a really nice alternative.
It's not like you.
Well, I don't really feel like myself right now.
What made you do something stupid like that?
Long story. Boring one, too. Look, what are you doing here?
Remember?
Don't make me.
Your car is broken. You asked me to pick you up for work.
I don't remember that. Of course, I don't remember anything from the last 5 minutes, so I don't know where I'm...
I want to know what made you do something like that to yourself.
That I remember. Oh, I would rather not talk about it.
Rick, come on. I'm your sister.
That's hard to... That's something I can remember. You're always nagging me.
Okay. And now is certainly no time to break that pattern, so spill it.
So I suppose if I don't tell you, you're not going to leave, right?
Well, I'm a nag. That means I'm persistent. So what happened?
I think the word is stubborn, isn't it?
I'm waiting.
Okay. I will tell you if you'll just, just keep it down, all right?
Gladly. How's this?
It's almost bearable. What happened was this. Oh, I don't. I asked Marianne to go out with me last night to talk because I thought maybe we could iron out some of our problems.
Rick, that's wonderful.
That would have been nice if but we never got together, you see.
Well, why not?
Well, because I learned something in the meantime, and it made our meeting unnecessary, so I went and got drunk.
What did you learn?
I finally realized that if Jamie doesn't love Marianne, regardless of what she feels for him, our marriage has a chance.
Sounds reasonable. What happened?
Well, I found out that he does love her, which just changes everything.
How did you find that out?
No. You're not going to get me. Just take my word for it, all right? Just now.
Rick,
I made some coffee.
So what did Mac say about your meeting with Rachel?
Mac. Well, I really haven't told him yet.
Why not?
Well, we haven't had time to talk about it, for one thing, and... Well, actually, I'm kind of hesitant to tell him. I'd rather just see her and see what she has to say first. Maybe it's nothing.
I kind of doubt it'd be nothing. Rachel's not one for idle social visits.
Yeah, I know. That's what has me worried. I mean, I know she doesn't like me. She never has, really. I just hope she's not trying to cause problems between Mac and me.
I don't think you have anything to worry about there.
You don't?
Mac loves you very much.
Think so? How could you tell?
By the way he looks at you. He's not going to let anything come between you.
I couldn't leave. I had something I had to do first.
It's Amanda, isn't it?
Yes. I couldn't bear the idea of not being able to see her. You can understand that, can't you?
Of course I can, Rachel. I've been wondering how you were going to deal with the problem. You're not going back to San Francisco?
Oh, yes, I'm going. I have to go. Mitch is waiting for me.
I'm sorry, Rachel. I truly am. I know how difficult this is for you.
I have another problem.
What's that?
It's Jamie. I'm worried about him. He was supposed to take me to the airport the other night, and he never showed up. He never called. And then I found out that he's gone off on some work project with the Blackhawk Corporation. But that's not like him to just take off and not tell me.
I think it's okay.
You know something about this?
Well, I was worried about him, too, so I had my security people check this out.
Well, what did you find out?
It seems it's a very legitimate trip. A lot of the crew have gone out. They're to be back in several days.
All right, if you say it's all right.
Is there something else?
Yes, what do you know about this Black Hawk Corporation? I mean, they seem a very strange outfit to me.
Well, they're very secretive. I have to admit that. I'm having the research department check them out.
What have you found out?
Well, not much so far, to be frank. But I'm telling them to keep on it until they do come up with something more.
Well, if you find out anything, would you let me know?
What are you doing here?
No, just a minute. Will you stay out of this, kid?
No, Rick, it's all right.
Please.
I know why you're here. I'm asking Blaine.
I guess I just didn't choose my moment, did I?
Oh, I think you chose your moment very well. You saw my brother in a vulnerable position, and you moved right in on it.
No, Kid, that's not the way it was at all.
It's the way it looks.
Will you just please stay out of this, okay?
Don't tell me this isn't my business, because it is. He doesn't even know what he's doing.
Just because I have a drink, you don't...
If
well,
you'll
more than
listen,
a
I will
drink.
try to explain, all right?
Blaine, if you tell me that you haven't stayed the night with my brother, I'm not going to believe you.
Kid, will you stay out of this?
If you'd
This is
seen the
really
shape
gonna be
he was in last night, you wouldn't accuse me of that. It took both Jason and me to get him into the car, and it took me a lot of time to get him up here. And when I did, it was hard to get him into bed.
Oh, Blaine, I'm sorry. I'm not interested in your problems.
I only meant that he was so drunk.
I really don't like this. You guys are talking as if I'm not even here.
Obviously, my brother is blinded by your charms, but I see right through you.
Look, Kid, I don't blame you for wanting to protect your brother, but I don't want to hurt him. It's the last thing I'd want to do.
Maybe. You don't. But just by being here, you're hurting him. I just hope my brother comes to his senses before it's too late.
Maybe he's already done that.
Rick's a bright guy. Sometimes. And when he sees what you're
All
doing,
right,
he's
all right,
gonna
that's
let you
enough.
go.
Now just be quiet, both of you. Now look, Blaine did me a favor by bringing me home.
And staying the night.
He fell asleep as soon as I got him in this place, and I only stayed to make sure he was all right.
That's right. That's right. And that's it. That's the truth, okay? So let's just drop it at that. Fine?
Fine. You asked me to pick you up for work.
All right. Well,
Obviously made other arrangements.
I'm sorry. I really am sorry.
Miss Davis,
What do you want?
Mr. Black would like to see you.
Good. I'd like to see him, too.
We have a limousine waiting,
You mean he wants to see me right now?
if that's convenient.
sorry.
Yeah.
You shouldn't apologize. I should be the one who's apologizing.
It put you in a very awkward position with your sister.
You didn't put me in this position. I put myself there. And I should have not let Kit carry on like that. I should have stopped it right away.
I understand how she feels.
You do?
Mm-hmm. She cares about you very much. She only wants what's best for you, and she obviously doesn't think that I am.
It doesn't matter what she thinks.
Thank you for defending me.
There's no thanks necessary.
Okay, so don't worry about it, all right? You want some coffee?
Yeah.
Okay.
I need some coffee. You know, to tell you the truth, I don't really remember what happened last night.
It's no wonder.
Was I awful?
Not awful. But it was obvious that something had hurt you pretty badly, and you were dealing with it the only way you could.
I must have gotten pretty drunk, huh?
Well, Jason said you finished off the better part of a bottle of scotch.
I remember. Yes, I remember that. I remember you're coming to the connection. Jason, you getting me into the car. Coming up the elevator.
But you don't remember anything after you got home, do you?
Vaguely.
Do you remember knocking me down on the floor?
No. I hurt you?
No.
I must have been pretty offensive.
You? Never. Always the perfect gentleman. Even when you sleep.
You watched me sleep?
Mm-hmm.
You stayed there all night?
Mm-hmm. You don't remember that?
Well, that I kind of remember.
But, you don't have anything to worry about. I mean, I stayed there because I wanted to make sure you were all right. You helped me out so much lately, and... Well, it's exactly where I wanted to be.
I'd like to get back to the ledger business, and then I'm willing to give up the floor. We're planning, or hoping to continue the series during the fundraising campaign. And there's only one problem. We're going to need continual input as to what these articles are going to be. So I'm really going to need you here. Any ideas, anything that you can come up with that might help the articles, please, I'd like you to get in touch with me. You know where I can be reached.
I have an idea, Philip. After the meeting, I'll run it by you and see what you think.
Oh, and I might be able to help you as well. You know, in my practice, I run into a great number of people who've been on drugs. So in the personal vein, I think I could be of help.
Well, then we really will be able to use your idea.
Question. Does anyone have any idea how long it might take to raise money for the entire project?
Kit, I may be able to answer that. First of all, we don't need to raise the entire sum before we begin the project. As soon as we raise 50% of the budget, we can start to let bids. Is that what you were concerned about?
Yes, I was afraid that it would take a long time before the project could get off the ground.
No, it's not going to take long at all.
As a matter of fact, that's truer than any of you know.
Mac, do you have something up your sleeve?
Not up my sleeve, Brian, but I have something in my pocket, ladies and gentlemen. This is a check to the fundraising committee of the Drug Rehab Clinic, made out for half the amount of the entire project.
What? That's terrific.
Mac, you're not serious.
Indeed, I am.
But who gave it?
The Black Hawk Corporation.
Oh.
This was given to me just before this meeting by a messenger.
That's just wonderful, Mac. Well, that means that we can get started letting bids right away.
Indeed it does.
I can't believe it.
Look, I'm new here. Just what is this Black Hawk Corporation?
Well, that's a very interesting question.
Been hearing an awful lot about them lately, but I still don't know who heads it or what they do.
I'm afraid it's a mystery to all of us what they really do.
Well, Mac, we do know one thing about them, though.
What's that?
They seem to be very humanitarian-oriented. They sent the plane for the kidnappers at the hostage thing out at the cabin.
Yes, that's right, and that's why the police had enough time to save the lives of both Sandy and Jamie. So, They're a very interesting company, and here they are again. I think they very much bear looking into, don't you, Philip?
Yes, we have, but we've come up with zero.
Well, does anyone know who heads the company?
Yes, a man named Edward Black.
Well, couldn't you start with that?
We have. We've still come up with nothing.
Well, I know one thing. Mr. Black is certainly a man I want to meet.
Make yourself comfortable, Miss Davis.
Steve.
Yes, Rachel. It's me.
What's that one? Oh, Philip. Excuse me. Philip, I really think you ought to give this Black Hawk thing first priority, especially now.
You mean because of their large contribution?
Yes, I'm really frustrated by this. My whole research department just keeps running into dead ends about them. It's as if this man Black never existed before.
I'll tell you the truth, Mac. I've been doing some investigating myself, and I've come up with the exact same thing.
Well, what do you make of it?
I don't know. It's all very strange to me, but I'll tell you it's familiar because I did go through this before.
Really?
Yes, with Sandy.
Sandy?
Yes. You remember when Jamie was getting into all this trouble and Sandy was always around to help him?
Yeah.
I just wanted to know what the connection was. Of course, I always kept running into dead ends, and now we know why.
He wasn't using his own name.
Precisely.
You think that may be the case with this Black Hawk?
I don't know, Mac. He's got no past. What else could it be?
I don't want to jump to conclusions. I think we ought to keep on it until we find out what's behind Black Hawk. I'm sure there must be something more going on than just a simple construction project.
Now, wait a minute. Do you know something that I don't?
Well, Jamie's room was broken into. Some photographs of their warehouse was stolen.
Yes, I know that. Sandy told me. He also thinks that's Black Hawk, too. Anything else?
Well, another thing, Jamie was sent out of town very suddenly, just at the very time he was supposed to take his mother to the airport. Now, it's very unlike Jamie to leave town without telling Rachel. She's the most important person in his life now.
Well, have you heard from him since he's left?
No, I haven't. But Rachel was reassured by one of the Black Hawk men that everything was on the up and up, that it was just an emergency construction project.
But you're not buying it, right?
My instincts say no.
I'll tell you what. I'll find out what I can. I'll get right on it.
Thank you, Phillips.
I waited for you last night. Why didn't you call me or something to tell me when you decided you couldn't make it?
I'm sorry.
Really? Well, why didn't you show up?
I figured it wasn't a good idea. Okay?
Just like that, you didn't show up? You could have at least had the common courtesy to let me know.
Look, I said I was sorry. Can we drop it?
That's fine with me. You're the one who wanted to get together, remember? I am a little curious about one thing, however.
Yeah?
Well, why were you so intent on us getting together? I mean, it wasn't exactly like I was begging to you, that we should meet.
Dr. Stein, please call your service.
Look, I know.
Dr. Stein.
And for a moment, I thought just maybe we should talk.
Talk? About what?
Our marriage.
We tried that a few times. Before. It hasn't worked yet.
Yes, I know that, but I thought that was just a very slight chance that we could work this out, so I thought we should talk. Obviously, this has turned into a very bad idea.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more, especially now.
If people had stayed out of it, quite frankly, the idea probably would never have occurred to me in the first place.
Oh, you're talking about Joey?
Among others.
Who?
You really must know your mother.
My mother came to see you? What did she say?
Same impassioned plea as Joey, Marianne and you belong together. Marianne doesn't really love Jamie. Jamie doesn't really love Marianne. It's the same old theme. You've heard it before.
Yeah, I'm afraid so.
Well, I almost bought it this time.
But you didn't.
How could I, Marianne, when none of it is true?
I thought you were dead.
Thank you. You're looking well, too.
It really is you, isn't it? It isn't a trick.
No, it's me. I just look a little different.
You look a lot different. But I knew it was you the minute I saw you.
How did you know? My voice?
Yes, mostly. But it's still you. And it's in your eyes, in your voice, your whole attitude. No matter how much has changed, I guess you can't disguise that.
No, I guess not.
Well, what happened to you? I mean, why have you stayed away all these years if you're alive?
One question at a time.
They told us that you went down in a helicopter. They found your body.
No, they found a body. They found 4 bodies, in fact.
Yes, well, yours was supposed to be one of them.
Supposed to be. Do you have time to hear this whole long story?
Well, I'll make time.
Well, then have a seat, because it's going to take a while. As you probably remember, I had gone to Australia to look at some property. I was thinking of expanding, setting up a construction unit in Sydney.
Is that where the helicopter went down?
Oh, no, a long way from there. I'd gone to Queensland for the weekend with an associate. There was a spectacular rainforest not far from Brisbane. When he suggested the trip, I thought, why not? So we took off. Or we started to, at any rate.
Well, what happened?
The manifest listed 4 people. The pilot, co-pilot, myself, the associate. But there was a 5th person aboard.
Who?
Just as we were about to take off, this guy came out of nowhere, stuck a gun in my ribs, and commandeered the chopper. Forced the pilot to fly out over the outback. Said he wanted to go to Gladstone. The pilot told him that he was crazy, that we didn't have enough fuel to get to Gladstone. But the guy was desperate. They argued that he panicked. He fired 1 round into the fuel tank, and in an instant, we were in Inferno.
Well, then you did go down with the helicopter.
Oh, yes. I was next to the door. The chopper was a ball of flame. I managed to get the door open, and I was thrown free just before we hit. I was severely burned. I'd broken 1 thigh and both arms from the impact of the fall. I had internal damage, bleeding, concussion. Barely slowed me down. I don't know what it was. The will to live, animal instinct. But I knew if I stayed there in that dense undergrowth, I'd never be found.
Yes, but they found the other bodies.
Well, yes, eventually, after a long search, they found 4 bodies.
Oh, that's why they didn't bother to even look for you.
Right. Well, I managed to crawl out of there. Took me several days. I never slept. I watched the animals as they came out at night. I ate what they ate. Berries, mostly. Well, somehow I managed to get to an outpost on the plains outside of the bush. They got me to a local infirmary. They took 1 look at me and carted me off to the hospital in Brisbane.
Yes, but then you could have told them who you were.
No, I couldn't, for 2 very good reasons.
What?
First of all, I didn't remember who I was. And secondly, even if I had remembered, I couldn't have told them. I lapsed into a coma and stayed there for 7 months.
Well, what do you think?
About the meeting or the check?
Both.
What can I say? Both were wonderful. I never dreamed we'd be able to start the actual program this soon.
It is wonderful for the clinic, isn't it?
Edward Black must be some man, donating half the funding.
Yeah, well, at least we know a little more about him now. He's certainly interested in humanitarian causes, huh? Darling, you have to go back to the hospital right away?
Well, not for a while. Why?
Because this morning I was looking at some brochures, and I suddenly realized that if we don't decide on where we're going on our honeymoon soon, we may not get our first choice. You know, the trip will probably coincide with the holidays.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that.
So, you got any suggestions?
About where to go? No, not really.
Well, you know what? Now is the time for you to indulge your fantasies. Where have you always dreamed that you'd like to go?
Oh, I don't know. A lot of places.
Such as?
Well, I've heard a lot of stories about Haiti and Bora Bora. Australia has always fascinated me with its exotic animals. Well, you know, kangaroos and koala bears.
Me too. Would you like to go there?
I would, someday. But I'd also like to go back to Paris again. Or maybe London. I'd like to ski in the Alps.
St. Moritz is beautiful. The air is so
Oh, you've
exhilarating.
already been there.
Well, that doesn't matter. We're indulging your fantasy this time around.
I've always dreamed of climbing Everest.
Everest? Oh, no, not Everest. I don't think I'm quite up to Everest. Not yet.
Hey, you said this was my fantasy. In my fantasy, you're up to anything.
You're adorable. You know that? And I really adore you for saying that. You know that? Oh, my goodness.
Oh, you have an appointment?
Yes, about 5 minutes ago. I tell you what. You keep indulging your fantasies this afternoon about where we're going on our honeymoon, and tonight, over dinner, we'll make the decision.
It's a deal.
Great. See you later.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So when you got out of the coma, you still didn't remember anything? You didn't know who you were?
No. The doctor started asking me questions, and I discovered I didn't have any answers. I didn't know who I was, what I was.
It must have been awful.
Yeah. Talk about an identity crisis. And it was all compounded by the physical problems. Because I'd hiked so far on the fractured leg, they had to break it, reset it. And I had all the scars from the burns to be dealt with.
That's why you look so different.
Yes, I had several operations. It's a decided improvement, don't you think?
How long were you in the hospital?
Oh, about a year and all. Including all the cosmetic attempts to rebuild my face.
Well, where did you go after the hospital?
I took an apartment in Brisbane.
Who took care of you?
I had a nurse. Pamela. Pamela Strickland.
Was she special?
She reminded me of Alice. Of course, I didn't know that at the time. She was small, pretty, very blonde, gentle, protective of me. She was British. And we began seeing each other. More and more after I got out of the hospital. She was She was worried about me.
You loved her?
Yes. After a while. We married.
You still didn't remember you were married to Alice?
Alice was remarried by then.
How did you know that?
One day I looked at Pamela, and I saw Alice. It all started coming back. So I hired some detectives to check it out. She was remarried.
Why didn't you contact Alice yourself?
It was too late. They had already adopted Sally by then. They were a family. They had a whole new life.
But Jamie, you could have at least told Jamie. You could have told him you were alive.
You'd married Mac Corey by then. My reports told me that Mac and James were hitting it off splendidly. Everyone. You included, Rachel. Everyone had arranged their lives very neatly, very quickly. There was no longer any place for me in Bay City. And don't forget, I had all those scars. Oh, I looked god-awful. I limped. But that didn't make any difference. Not to Pamela, and not to Diana.
Wait a minute, who's Diana?
Oh, Diana is Pamela's daughter, my stepdaughter. She'd had Diana by a previous marriage. Her first husband had given her a rough time. And now I was going to give her a rough time. We had nothing.
No money.
Well, you had your company here in Bay City.
No, not really. Alice had inherited my company. Or what was left of it. They were welcome to it. No, I wanted to start off from ground zero. I'd done it once, I could do it again. And I did. Business has always been second nature to me.
Where did you get the bankroll to start?
Pamela had a little money. We used that for collateral. Started an architectural firm, called it Blackhawk.
After your name.
And soon the business was booming. I paid Pamela back, I paid the bank back. And then I began to expand. Got into shipping, manufacturing, aviation, eventually. And then I began to speculate rather adventurously. I was fearless. I had nothing to lose. I'd already lost it.
What did you speculate on?
Gold. Got into the market at just the right time. Got in big. Got out at just the right time, too.
So you're very wealthy.
Blackhawk is a multinational conglomerate.
I see. Well, I'm impressed. You must be very pleased with yourself.
Yes, I am. Or I was. And then I began to be afraid.
Of what?
Of being found out.
When you remembered you were Steve Frame.
I didn't want my family, my friends, to find out who I was before I decided to tell them. Not everybody wanted to look at the rich and powerful Edward Black. You have no idea how difficult it was to keep my picture out of the media, especially after I had acquired a major airline. I had to hide behind my boards of directors, give my different companies different names, so that the more companies Blackhawk gobbled up, the less was known of Edward Black.
Well, I'm afraid I'm still confused.
Why?
Why would you come all the way back here to Bay City if you didn't want anyone to know who you were?
Dr. Marlowe, please call your service. Dr. Marlowe, please call your service.
You seen your brother today?
Funny you should ask.
Yeah?
Yeah. He had asked me to pick him up for work today. And when I got there, you know who was there?
No, who?
Blaine.
Blaine, yeah?
Joey, what are we going to do?
You and I are not going to do a thing. Nothing. Zilch. It is none of our business. You know, I'm through trying to help our friends patch up their problems. It's their problems, let them deal with it. We have other things that we have to concentrate on. And if you don't know what that is, then we're in big trouble, baby.
I'm sorry. I just worry about him sometimes.
I know. No matter what I'm going to say, you're always going to worry about him. But you worry about him on your own time, okay? We have some other things that I think we should discuss and get straightened out.
Such as?
Such as our wedding. So I think maybe I should put my 2 cents in before you start talking to your mother and your friends about getting a whole big fancy wedding.
Wait a minute there, JP.
What?
I'm with you. No fancy wedding.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You mean that?
I mean it.
You're not kidding me?
I wouldn't kid you. Now look, a wedding is important. And when you start making some big deal about it, it's no fun. I want something intimate and quiet. A little celebration with our family and our friends.
I'm with you, kid. You're all right.
Stop hitting me. Come here.
I've thought about it a lot. We were always so happy here. We could get away from Bay City, away from the problem. I wanted a place, beautiful and permanent. A place to come to be alone with you.
full and permanent. A wedding gift that echoes what we feel for each other?
That's it, exactly. A monument. A living monument.
Why, Stephen Frame, I do believe you're romantic after all, aren't you?
Oh, did you ever doubt it?
I did. At times.
I'm sorry I hurt you. I don't want to, ever again.
It doesn't matter now. I can survive the hurts. It's just the separations that destroy me.
We don't even want to think about that now. This is a whole new beginning for us. Like the house. I want to make you happy. Oh, I want to give you everything. It didn't matter anymore.
Why not?
Because earlier this year, Pamela died.
I'm sorry.
Yes, so am I. I loved her very much. But when she was gone, there was no reason for me to stay in Australia.
But what about your daughter?
Well, Diana? Well, Diana's my stepdaughter. Pamela and I never had any children. Diana is all grown up now.
So you decided to come back here?
Mm-hmm. Sent Quinn in as an advanced scout. Told her to set up the office. Hired Denver Hobson, bought this building, and here we are.
Why did you make it so difficult for everyone to find out that you had bought the dockside?
Same reason as always. I didn't want anyone to know who I was.
Yes, but you just said that you didn't want to hide behind Edward Black anymore.
That's true, I don't. But I wanted to decide who I told and when. And I wanted Alice to be the first to know.
Alice is engaged to Mac now. Does that change things?
Just hastens things.
So you knew she was engaged?
Oh, yes, that's why I came back a little sooner than I'd planned.
What is it you want?
What do I want? I want my son, Rachel.
Your son isn't a little boy anymore. He's all grown up and he's on his own. Mac has been his father.
No, I've been his father, his real father. And I want him to know that. I want to know him as my son. I want my family to be together.
Your family?
Yes, my family, yes. I want the people I love around me. And that includes James.
And who else?
Alice.
So you still love her?
Oh, yes, I never stopped loving her.
Even while you were married to this Pamela person?
Yes, even then. I loved Pamela. She was a warm, wonderful woman, but it was never the same as it was with Alice.
Alice loves Mac now.
That doesn't matter.
I think it might. What do you expect? She's going to come running to you now?
I think she's always loved me the way I've loved her.
Well, I think you might be disappointed. Mac is a very powerful, very charming man.
Mackenzie Corey has taken my son, and now he wants to take my wife.
No, I think you have it wrong. She very much wanted to be taken. And I also think that you're a little late this time.
It's never too late, Rachel. I will have my son, and I will have Alice.
Oh, Mac.
What's the matter, darling?
Well, when we were talking this afternoon, I got so caught up in our talk of where to go on our honeymoon, I completely forgot to tell you.
Tell me what?
I'd made arrangements to meet Rachel for dinner at L'Auberge tonight at 8.
Rachel for dinner? What have her for?
I don't know, she wouldn't say. But I know she has something to talk to me about.
I hope she's not up to something.
Well, I don't know that she's up to anything, Mac, but she sounded, I don't know, upset, strange.
Look, darling, you don't have to go if you don't want to, you know.
I really should, Mac. She made it sound so important.
Well, I just wish we knew beforehand what she's up to.
I do, too. But I guess I'll just have to wait until 8 to find out.
Join us each weekday at this time for the continuing story of Another Work.